to this week's Property Show, PropShow 34. 34.
Some said we'd never make it.
Yeah.
I know, right? That's like half a year.
Okay, yeah. And we're Ian from
More than
Active Pipe and Jonathan from Verboo.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do your bit.
Roll VT.
Should we jump in straight to the show?
Go on,
What are we talk about this week? Reading from the board next to
Well,
the
you can
camera.
read from the board.
Can you see it?
You're supposed to, one talks while the other one reads.
I
That's
see
how
the
you get
board.
away with it.
We could ask you how your countrywide shares are doing.
Okay, well, this is obviously filmed. This is coming out in the middle of June, all being well, or early June, and only last month they were suspended. 7p.
Trading suspended.
There you go.
Yes.
You know, he used to work for Countrywide.
Speaking
actually.
of,
well,
we have a little bit of that. But what do you think the solution might be for them?
The solution for them?
Yeah.
I think they need to be looking at the structure of their business a bit more and what they're doing with their brands. I think it's a bit confused at the moment. They've got great brands within that. John D. Wood, Hamptons.
Great.
Fantastic,
Some
aren't
great
they?
some great people.
Yeah. And there's some superb people in the business.
Amazing,
I just think they, I'm not a big fan of this back to basics. I think there's other things they could be doing.
Jonathan, I know you're not an agent yourself, but you do talk to an awful lot of agents. What do you see good out there in the industry at the moment?
I think there's certain agents that are looking to innovate.
Okay.
And some are doing it really well. Others, I think, are a little bit confused by all the opportunities out there.
Yeah.
Some are trying to learn from the hospitality sector, I think, and build to rent and things like that. But I think there's a huge opportunity out there for the agents that are open-minded.
I mean, if we're talking prop tech, obviously not mentioning your own products because we all know why you're here. What are your favourite prop techs? Let's start with you.
Well, obviously, I've never been an agent, so it's difficult to say from an internal perspective. But I think any tools out there that speed up the communication process, be it whether it's related to maintenance or the likes of fixed flow, etc.
Fixed flow, look, got that on the floor, look.
Hi, Raj.
Everyone says fixed
That
flow.
comes around time and time and again, doesn't
Fixed flow.
it? Fixed
It does.
flow, yeah.
And then I think also, the earlier part of the process, the whole finding a property and moving into a property piece, so the likes of Good Lord as well.
Oh, we like good lord.
Like good Lord.
Anything that can speed up or make that process less painful.
Yeah.
Good. Ian, what's your favourite prop tech, obviously, apart from your own?
Well, wouldn't say mine. Well, I think that there's some bits out there that agents should be using. Dataloft is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rory,
We know
they're
Rory,
they're coming soon.
Rory, great
Coming
name.
soon
Rory
to the
Black,
show.
great
Hi,
name.
Rory.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's superb for agents. We're going to be integrated with that soon.
Oh, good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I mentioned Yomdal already.
Yes.
Hey, let's tell you what, there's your Yomdale socks.
So we can thank
nice socks.
an opportunity to thank Yomdale for their continued sock support.
Good stuff. Let's just put the glasses on. Here we
Oh,
go.
and thanks to Wando for the glasses. The great
You get
car
to stay at home.
dashboards up and down the country.
Yeah, you've got lots in the car, you say every time.
Yeah, I did.
No, you're taking them home.
We've got enough of them.
Please, Jonathan, take them. Good. Okay.
Should we get on
great.
with some what really grinds my gears? Like, what's your biggest gripes? We'll start with you.
You're grinding of gears.
Yeah, what's your biggest
I like
gripe
that.
in the industry at the minute?
Well, I think what I think is always really frustrating in agency is how people don't answer the phone quickly or don't phone you back.
Yes.
What's that about?
What was it? 40% of all Rightmove leads are never contacted. Is
Right,
that
wait for this one. Right, so we had our friends from Yomdale.
Yes.
Great.
Of
Andy.
sock fame.
Great socks.
Although other socks are available, Money
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Moneypenny, there's some on the wall.
Well, we decided money
Yeah,
pennies
sorry,
are
finish
for
that.
Monday to Friday business, and these are your weekend
They're the week.
socks.
These are.
Well, you could wear both, one on each.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I've debranded.
You'd be that
Hang on.
crazy guy in the
Yeah.
office that wears odd socks.
Hang on.
Did you realise?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. There we go. Business, pleasure. So, happy days.
Anyway, so we had them people from Yondell on, and they do all the mystery shopping for the EA Masters Awards.
Back once again for the EA Masters.
And basically, 52% of Rightmove
52,
emails
is it?
were not responded to. Okay, 10% of phone calls, but this is the one that's just going to blow you out of the water. We had Boyd from the Sales Doctor.
Yeah.
You know, other trainers are available.
Yes, Boyd Mayover, yeah.
And he was working on behalf of, you know, these 30-second instant valuations.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Mentioning no names.
mentioning no pain,
Yeah.
no, you know, the word val, and then just add another word at the end.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder what.
you know, it's like Robo-Val or Val-Pal or, you know, just the word, you know, Val-Sal.
Something you can just think of when they're
Just put the
making
word
up that
Val.
name.
Anyway,
Val.
He was working for one of those firms, and he sent out hundreds of free valuation requests, and 38% of people never came back.
Tumbleweed.
To that jester.
And that's someone who's asking for their property
Asking
to
for
be
a
valued.
valuation never.
I even
Well, we-
emailed an agent in a prime part of North London where I have a rental property.
Right.
I emailed them directly
And
through their website. Property's coming available. Come and have a look. What's the current rent? Blah blah blah. Nothing.
Jesus.
And in London as well, it's such a high turnover. You thought they'd be on that daily.
Rent's not far off £2,000 a month as well.
Wow.
And how many times do you speak to an agent and they say, "Oh, market's tough.
Yeah. And you've got
Market's tough."
Just like it's just attitude. I
Yeah,
mean, I
it's
tell you what,
attitude.
this might be a great opportunity. Let's chuck in the Tom Panos video. I tell you what, he tells you why Brexit's not the issue. In fact, buckle up and sit down, kids, because I tell you what, to the end of these 2 minutes, you're going to be scared as hell.
It's not your problem. Your problem is your lack of discipline. Your problem is the lack of clarity. Your problem is that you don't have a prospecting plan. Your problem is you don't have a listing presentation that devastates your competitors. Brexit is not your problem, because the minute that you say Brexit's your problem, you're outsourcing your responsibility to another person. And you know what? Wherever I see someone outsourcing responsibility lies the opportunity. If people are watching this video and they're not doing 2 hours prospecting a day, have a look at how much money you're making, because life's really fair. So I think, like, I would say to myself, if you don't have process, right, and you don't have motivation, you've got a shit strategy. This ability to handle rejection and failure. You need to have a belief that failure and rejection are not the opposite of success, that they are in fact part of success. So, what are some of the things that I've learned? Number one, some of the best gifts in life come badly wrapped. Why? Because when you get an illness that causes you to face your mortality at a young age, it helps you not waste your time. Falling down is not an option. Staying down is. Don't think that having the will and the fight is enough. I have a belief. The bullet that's going to kill you has already been fired. Hard-working estate agent that has been doing 2 hours of prospecting a day, and you have got a pipeline of opportunities. And what happens is the client says to you, "I want you to do it at 1%. You're not desperate. And you know what you say? I'm not for you. This ability to handle rejection and failure. You need to have a belief that failure and rejection are not the opposite of success, that they are in fact part of success.
That was a bit scary, wasn't it?
That's good.
Yeah, but the thing is, he knows his apples, doesn't he?
He knows his onions.
He knows his apples,
Yeah.
or his onions, or his kiwi
There you
fruit.
go. Well, I'll tell you what, talk about grind your gears.
That's what Australians eat all the time, Kiwis.
What, do they, what fruit's Australian?
Right, we were in the green
Fosters.
room. We were in the green room, weren't we?
We were in the green room.
Okay, yeah.
It's not green though.
Drinking champagne VR.
There was none of that either.
There was
There
none of
was
that.
coffee.
Okay. And I was talking to Jonathan and asked him what does he grinds his gears, and this is the bit. So this is the that's the prop show. It's
Okay.
that question there in the middle.
The middly one.
The
Okay.
middle one. Yeah.
Let's ask the prop show. With the nudge, fares on. Why do you think there is a lack of empathy from letting in estate agents towards their clients?
In
And
particular.
I'm going to ask.
What, to homeowners or potential buyers or?
Well, no,
Just
two
everyone.
tenants.
Okay, because Jonathan,
Tenants.
yeah. Tell us the story why this grinds your gears.
Well, I've got experience of being a tenant, and I've also got experience of being a landlord. And when I've approached agents as either, you get a very clearly different response.
Yeah.
And I understand, obviously, you need the landlord first,
Yeah.
the property. I totally get that clearly. But I was really shocked when I last did it as a tenant a couple of years ago. No matter who the agent was that I went into, whether independent high street or corporate high street,
Yeah.
it was almost like, I'm not another one of these.
Oh, really? Like you're a pain in the way?
Yeah, and every agent I went into, I did feel like a pain.
Really?
Yeah.
You just
Like you were getting in there, you were disturbing them.
Yeah. And, okay, in the UK, there's high rental demand,
Yeah.
but, there's seasonal fluctuations.
Yes.
And
How did that make you feel?
every agent I went into, the harder it got, when actually the opposite should have happened.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, okay, this isn't very good. What about the prospective tenants that are looking at my properties with the agents who I'm paying to manage those properties?
Yes. Yeah.
And I just felt, it can't have been a coincidence that it wasn't just one or two, because I literally went to every agent, and knowing, the industry like I do, having been a landlord for not far off 15, 20 years, as a tenant, I actually wanted to go and visit every single agent. Yes, you can find the property initially online,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I actually wanted to meet the agents.
Yeah,
Yes.
And I was really shocked.
just the level of service.
Yeah, I just thought not only was it, felt uncomfortable or a pain to be in there. When I explained the situation, why I'm renting, why my budget was X, what I was looking for. I mean, I even had one agent who I won't name. I honestly felt like I was in a boiler room, because I told them my budget. They showed me a property. It was very clearly overpriced by 15 to 20%. I made an offer for the property, and it was like, the old sort of stocks and shares films,
Yeah,
whatever.
that boiler room's great.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And the guys kept going, well, I don't think they'll take this. And then 5 minutes later, it was about, well, no, they won't take it, but somebody else has just offered this, and blah, 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 blah. He's literally trying to get me up. I explained to him, said, look, this is my situation. Can you help me or can't you? And he literally did not care about my situation. All he cared about was getting as much money out of me as possible.
And the problem is that agent doesn't realise that you've also then going to be a client of the future. There could be other things that you could be spending money on through that agency.
Oh,
You've
completely.
had that experience recently, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we were just chatting before, weren't we? Like, I'm looking for a new flat at the minute in Grantham, and there's an agent in Leicester, which is a good 45 minutes drive away, and they've got some flats in Grantham. And basically, like, I phoned up a couple of weeks ago, pre-Easter bank holiday, just to make a viewing. Like, what's a viewing take nowadays?
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Man has subsequently found somewhere lovely to
Diddly-doo. But basically, I was on the phone and she put me on hold 3 times because the
Correct
lady
at time of recording.
You're gonna have to put a little thing in the newspaper.
Correct at time of recording.
But basically, the lady who answered the phone didn't know anything about the property and kept putting me on hold, like I said, 3 times. And she was clearly talking to someone that was across the office. I was like, well, why didn't you just put me through to someone who knows the property? It wasn't until the end of the call when I said, do you want my name? She hadn't even taken my name. Clearly, my number must have come up on their telephone screen. And then as she was just about to say goodbye, I thought, I'll let it ride. And then I had to stop her and say, who am I meeting? Where am I meeting them? This lady's booked me in an appointment to view a flat, and I don't know. She didn't ask me where I was from, about my situation, whether I knew the town or not.
Yeah, everyone knows you, Matt. You're on the
Big in the game, big in the game. But it's one of those things where if someone rang our office phone, we'd be like, hi, how can I help? Find out a little bit about it. This is pre-Boyd Mayover meeting him, but it's
Ian, do you think this is endemic in the industry? Because he used to be the MD of Humbert's. Big in the game. Big in the game.
But would you
Big dog.
put time and energy into training, like
Little
at
dog.
Humbert's? Were you a part of that, or?
Well, it has to be. I mean, that is just a basic of what you do as an agent.
You
That's
say
a
that, but a lot of
basic
agencies don't
That's
train or invest.
Well, they don't. But
Yeah.
then the experience you had is replicated
Yes.
by
Well,
every
it
in every
seems so,
town.
yeah.
But that's a great opportunity for the agents that are doing all that stuff.
I think so. The cream will rise to the
Yeah,
top.
absolutely.
I
But
mean, I don't know how it works internally within an agent in terms of who deals with the landlord, who deals with the tenant, or whether everyone just deals with both.
Yeah.
But if I think back to, I started my early career in the recruitment sector, you know, and we very clearly had clients with vacancies that we looked after,
Yes.
and we had candidates that we looked after.
Of course.
And if a letting agent was to do the same, one person
Yeah.
deal with ex-landlord,
Yeah.
and somebody else deals with the tenants.
Yeah.
And every morning we'd have a meeting and say, yesterday I interviewed this great candidate, this is his profile, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
And an agent was to do the same with their tenants each morning. Yeah. And then somebody have responsibility for that tenant, that property, they communicate. Because I'm also shocked by, you know, the number of agents I called about properties and they didn't know.
But answer to your
Enough
question,
detail.
in an agency, they they have guys doing both. So they're
There
looking
is
after
crossover,
landlords.
yeah.
So there should be, in their morning meetings, they should be doing that.
What's the answer there? What's the solution?
Is the solution to split?
No.
To have some stuff looking after.
No, because you're going to have, you do still have that sort of silo management within an agency where you have letting staff and sales staff. Some businesses try to merge the roles,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really work. So they're two separate bits to the same business.
Yeah.
But the thing is all about training
Yeah.
and making sure when you go into an office that you get a really good service by the person that pops up and hopefully stands up to greet you.
Well, we were talking
Basics.
Yeah, like you said there, we did some filming for John Paul from Castledine. Oh, Arid, my kid.
I read
Yeah.
JP.
But he was saying one of his MD, Adele, is fantastic with training and customer
Oh,
experience. But she
amazing.
told a little story
Amazing.
about someone
Sings
that
well.
came into the
She's
office
incredible.
as a
She's
client.
incredible. She's incredible.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
There's another course coming up, actually.
There's a new JP masterclass coming up, but it's probably gone
is
by
it?
the time we've.
It's in June, isn't it? Is it in June?
Yeah, June
In
sometime.
June, yeah. So
Yeah.
but if you haven't been on this one, we'd encourage you to go on another one. Really, really great.
Even the dog says, go on JP's course, it's brilliant.
If you want to get a bit more out of, well, it's staff focused, so
It's very
motivation,
systems focused.
very systems, very
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
But very, very good. Speaking of things that are coming up, SANJFEST.
SANJFEST, well, it's not, hopefully, it depends when this comes out, but it should be a week or 2 weeks away.
Okay, 14th of June, 2019.
Well,
If you haven't-
Tom's going to be there, we have the video.
Tom
earlier
Panos
on.
is going to be
Good
there, and someone else is speaking on the stage. Yeah,
Another
A few
big
hundred
dog.
and,
people.
Another
and,
Victor.
and if you care, we'll be there as well.
Okay, we're going to be
There
filming
with
lots of
cameras.
people.
We're going to be there as well with cameras.
Yeah.
Bonus, the other
Okay.
side.
There you go,
Of the
good.
camera.
No face.
So that's good. So we need to find out what a man on the ground says.
Steve?
Yeah.
Let's go to him.
Steve Says! It's a great day to make a video.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers, Steve.
So that's great.
Let's talk about the big one. Let's leave the big one
We're
to the
leaving
end.
the hat.
No, I think we need the hat.
We need the hat.
We need
Okay.
that. What's the
Fine.
big one? Come on then.
Okay,
It's the
so
one at the top there.
The last question, the big question. I know what the big question is. Squat.
Tell us, Uncle Chris.
What?
Ignore him, Chris. Ignore him. Carry on. Come on, power through.
Come on.
You asked the bloody question.
Okay, hold on, take the rest off. The portal's relationship with estate agents. Rightmove, Zoopla on the market. Empathy. Are they doing it right? Talk to me. Let's go to the man on the ground straight away. Ian. talk
Man
to us.
on the ground. It's not good out there, is it, for agents at the moment? They're not feeling the love.
They're not, are they?
No.
At all. And
It's,
I think Rightmove do care, but they're not really coming out and saying that, are they?
they used to always be like a partner with the agents.
Right.
The good old days. What?
Yeah.
Up to 2007, 8.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say that's the case. And
Yeah.
something's changed. I don't know why, but it's changed. And it's down. It's the account managers on the ground that are not the same as they used to be. And I don't know whether that's a cultural thing or whether it's.
Do you think they've got so big that that the empathy is sort of gone?
Well, I think the trouble's been that it's been the negotiations going on, hasn't there, about the fees, and everybody's been getting so angry about it. I think the relationship has become really fractious
Yeah.
between the two.
We see a lot online in various forums and groups with agents where they're actively asking. We're so annoyed with Rightmove, or we're so annoyed with whoever. We're thinking of completely cancelling and going it alone. Have others done this? How have they experienced it? What has happened? And 50% of people say, don't do that. Rightmove generators, loads of business, it's fantastic. You just need to go back to them and try and get a better deal or try and get a better service. And others say, no, we binned it off because we had exactly the same as you. So we now do on the market or Zoopla or whatever. But it's not just Rightmove. People have said, people have said the same about Zoopla. People have said the same about on the market. So independently, they're not all. They're all of an ilk. As a
it's quite interesting. At the ARLA conference, we spoke to people from Rightmove and from on the market, and my personal perception of the three right now is that kind of Rightmove are the big boys, the long established boys, now currently annoying everybody. On the market, started off not so great, but now is now picking up.
Push,
And then you got the Zoopla in the middle, which I think is just kind of looking at both and saying, right, let these guys continue to pee everybody off. See where these guys start to go right, and then we're just going to jump in and just blow everybody else away. But that's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
But it is important, is it not? As a former MD of Humberts, the amount of money that you used to have spent on advertising, print, yes, but also television, radio, flyering, leafleting, all that stuff, all that other marketing that went around having a large group of estate agents. Okay, a lot of agents have consolidated all of that, and Rightmove is their marketing.
Yeah.
End of.
And if that is the case, what does it do to the profile of your business in your local market?
Well, I don't know.
You're just a Rightmove bitch then, aren't you?
You are, of course you are. And so if they say you're going to pay another 10%, you're going to pay it, aren't you?
Of course you are.
Yeah,
but
because a lot
if
of
it's,
vendors
but
are
why is
saying.
it- But if it's because price is always
It's value.
discussed and value. But if that is all you do, then surely that's good value.
It is, but then you've got, as an agent, you've got a pressure to spend your money on other things as well.
Of course you do.
You've got, you've saved the money on your newspaper advertising.
Yeah.
So, 25, 30 grand a year you used to spend on newspaper advertising, which you don't do now.
No, you don't do now, no.
But you then have got to spend that on other things, your digital profile, your canvassing, all of those things carry a cost. And then your Rightmove expense, we used to spend in 6 figures on Rightmove.
Really?
So when you're spending a lot of money, you expect to get something back in return, apart from just the leads.
Yes.
I think your expectations of what you get from a portal has changed.
But are those expectations fair? Because if you'd run a newspaper advert, all that would have happened, Mrs. Miggins in her pie shop, Blackadder reference, would have seen the advert. the advert. Mrs. Miggins would have gone, "Hi there, I'd like to rent, or I'd like to buy, or I'd like to do whatever." All that advert has done has generated you that interest.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Rightmove are doing?
They are, but you're not necessarily getting that phone call. You're getting somebody who's floating around looking at Rightmove.
Yeah.
As an agent, this is the problem with agency now. You don't know who's actually doing that circling until they want to interact with you.
Yes.
So the key is trying to get them to interact with you.
Yeah.
And is Rightmove the right vehicle to have that interaction?
Well, I would say that you need to build your personal brand by putting your face in front of your market. Video content's great for that. FYI.
I was reading about an agent a couple of days ago on that point who basically, on one of the Facebook forums, who basically said he's ditched Rightmove and I'm not sure what other one he was using, and he's now put everything on Open Rent and a couple of the other sort of apps.
Yeah.
And he said so far it hasn't had any negative impact on his business.
Yeah,
Other
it's
than saving a
horses
bit
for
of money.
courses, I guess.
Interesting.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think
It's interesting that people can break away from it and still be successful.
But this is the discussion, isn't it?
Carry on.
No.
I'll wait for everyone else to know it.
You carry on.
Right, okay, here we go then.
What's your view, Mr. Watkins?
Well, I have a number of points for you. The first one is this: how estate agents judge the return on investment on their portals by the quantity of leads, when
Not the quality.
not the quality. And quite frankly, the best advice I can give you is look at every single sale and every single letting you've done in the last 2 years, and actually follow them all the way back to where the lead originally came from, and you will be very pleasantly or not pleasantly surprised, because the amount of times I've heard, I've got so many leads from this one and not so many leads from that one, and then when you actually say, well, where have you done the reverse engineer? Yeah.
coming
Okay.
from, yeah.
The bottom line is Rightmove and all the others have created a level playing field that Mr. John Bloggs from Blogsville, Tennessee, can set up an estate agency and work in direct competition on a level playing field with the likes of your Humberts and your Savills and everything else like that. It should be just seen purely as a way to put your properties out there and to sell properties. Where we should be doing better is as negotiators is actually 52% of people not returning bloody phone an email and 10% of phone calls or 38% getting the basics done right. I also have a gear to grind.
Oh, grind away.
Okay. I am really disgusted at the moment with the lack of a human face by all three portals at the moment. I'm especially wound up with On the Market at the moment. They should become the voice. They should be winning hearts and minds of the industry. And I'm quite frankly, at this moment in time, I'm just not feeling the love, and no one's really feeling the love in all of the Facebook groups we're in. In fact, I'm hearing some stories at the moment that they're as bad, if not as worse, compared to other portals in terms of the way their local account managers are dealing with people on the ground. It's disgusting. Rightmove, I've also, interestingly, I went to go and see some directors at Rightmove a couple of weeks ago. And they are actually up for me challenging them on their lack of empathy in the industry and their attitude of their local account managers. And they're more than happy for me to challenge
quite clearly aware that there's some rumblings. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll give them some gumption that they're prepared for me to interview them with some real life questions. Good for them.
Well done, Rightmove.
Well done.
Yes.
They should all do that.
Yeah, I think they should.
Well, they won't return any calls, and On the Market, won't say anymore. But guys, if you're from Zoop or On the Market and you want to put your voice over, thousands of people do watch what we do. Well, I've got some
Pick up the
questions.
dog and bone.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey.
Hey.
So you go. So I'm getting off the soapbox now.
And there's some one-down glasses in it.
Okay, there you go. We need more of a human feel.
Yeah, that's pretty much us.
That's human beings.
There you go.
Is, yeah.
Good stuff.
Great. Okay. Well, that's awesome. So, are we going to drop in the SANJFEST promo?
But we did it before, didn't we?
Yeah, well, no, we didn't drop in the promo. Let's see a bit of what's coming at SANJFEST. Done now.
Oh, I did like that one. I did that other one as well. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Right, so
So that's done.
there you go then. I think that's about it, really.
Great. Well, thanks ever so much, Jonathan. Ian,
Thank you.
thanks a million
Great seeing you guys.
for coming to the heart of the UK. And see you later, guys. And show!